Brainstorming experiments to perform regarding sex can be a little awkward at first. Initially, there's a period of silence as everyone ponders whether their ideas for questions are too weird or actually a good idea for the experiment. After a couple minutes of throwing ideas around, our group finally decided on a question that we were genuinely curious about and started the process of planning out the details of our experiment. The question we decided to explore was, does masturbation increase the chances of a heterosexual couple getting pregnant faster? We settled on this question because we believed it to encompass a common concept that we've been discussing throughout class: reproduction. That is what the whole class is centered around, anyways. After establishing our experiment question, we moved on to the hypothesis stage. Together, our group's hypothesis was that the group with both the male and the female masturbating will get pregnant faster than the group where neither the female or the male masturbate. Meaning, our null hypothesis is that the group with both the male and female masturbating will not get pregnant any faster. Basically saying that whether or not a couple practices masturbation has no effect on their ability to get pregnant. Logically, then, our prediction is that if the hypothesis is true, then, when we perform our experiment, we believe that our results will support our claim that regular masturbation increases the chances of getting pregnant. We believe this is going to be the likely result because we think that couples that practice masturbation on a regular basis will be invoking hormones throughout their bodies that will prime them for easier fertilization. Another idea for why masturbation may help to speed up pregnancy for couples is that it can act as a de-stressor for individuals so that their bodies and minds are more relaxed and thus the woman is more ready to become fertilized. Now, let's discuss the methodology behind our experiment. In order to test our question and a hypothesis, we will be performing an experimental study. In order to account for confounding variables to the best of our abilities and come to conclusions that are comparable to each other. We will have two groups comprised of 100 couples each. These groups will all consist of Americans who range from 20 to 30 years old. In addition to this, all men and women will have to be fertile. In the first group, which we will call Group A, both individuals, the female and the male, will be masturbating. The individuals in Group A will masturbate 3 times a week, no more, no less. In the other group, Group B, neither the male or female will participate in masturbation at all. While Group A is being told to masturbate on a regular basis, and Group B is being told to refrain from any masturbation, both groups will be allowed to have protected sex once a week. Each woman will be taking the same birth control that they would have started to take at the same time 6 months prior to the trial period. This is being done to account for any inconsistencies with the woman's menstrual or ovulation cycles. Once the trial period has started, couples will be able to have protected sex on the Friday of every week. That means only once a week for the trial period. After the initial period of 6 months, both groups will be told they can now start participating in unprotected sex once a week in order to start the process of actually trying to get pregnant. Even though each group will begin performing unprotected sex at this time, Group A will still be masturbating 3 times a week, while Group B will still be refraining from masturbation. During this time, women will be required to come in for a blood test to determine if they become pregnant once a week. We are doing this to avoid women forgetting to test themselves, using unreliable urine pregnancy tests, and to actively and thoughtfully track the couple's fertilization status. After the 6 months are over and we start the blood pregnancy test, we will be closely noting the time it takes for each couple to get pregnant and then recording that data. After our experiment is over and we've collected our data, our expected results are that Group A will on average become pregnant within 1 month, while Group B will on average become pregnant within 3 months. These expected results, which predict a 2 months difference between the two groups, will support our hypothesis that couples who practice masturbation before and while they are trying to get pregnant will become pregnant faster than couples who refrain from masturbation. In conclusion, we hope to be able to find evidence that our hypothesis is indeed correct and help to break down the stigma behind masturbation, and hopefully support the idea that it can only be a helper, not a harmer.